Hi, we're here today with Paulo de Matos, who's Chief Product Officer of global ERP provider Syspro. And we're also here with Alok Ajmera, who is COO and President of Prophix. The two recently announced a strategic global partnership agreement, and we're here today to examine the reasons and synergies behind the announcement. Paulo, you often say that a company transforms through innovation. Was your decision to partner with Prophix part of that transformation?
I think it's important for us to listen to market trends, and we've done just that. ERP is quite an old subject. Originally, it evolved as being a system of record. Its primary driver was to tie in and have a single view of a transaction, an integrated transaction within an organization. That isn't sufficient nowadays. So we have to transform from a system of record to a system of insight, a system of engagement. And system of insight is absolutely key. And the only way you can really do that is if you begin to adopt the business disciplines of planning. And really, if you look at corporate performance management, CPM, as a discipline, that makes absolute synergies, that Syspro incorporates that as an offering into the market.
Okay, Alok, your CPM, have I got that right?
Correct.
Okay, your CPM software suite. Now, what kind of benefits do you feel it's going to add to both Syspro's ERP solution and, of course, the business owner?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me start with the business owner.
Okay.
There's two primary objectives of a CPM solution. The first is a little more tactical. What typically happens with a Syspro user is that for elements in the financial office like planning, budgeting, financial reporting often, there's an ecosystem of Excel that's sitting beside Syspro as an ERP. And that ecosystem is incredibly cumbersome. It's manual, it's error prone, it's unstructured. And so one of the more tactical benefits of a solution like Prophix is that we can streamline all of that manual Excel work that's happening. And the value there is a lot of energy goes into managing those Excel processes. That's not necessarily value add to the business. So the value add to the business is actually taking your Office of Finance and freeing it up from all the manual number crunching and allowing more time for analysis, which is actually much more valuable to the actual business.
Could you give me perhaps two of your average business owner's biggest financial headaches that your CPM software helps solve?
Only two.
If you like.
Look, most of our business owners come to us with a acute pain. And if I were to capture it into two, it's difficulty in cumbersome budgeting processes and difficult and cumbersome financial reporting processes. That's definitely where most of our customers will start the journey with us. Our tool and the journey that we provide our customers after those two is really broader. It's getting more cross-functional, more operational, etc. But specifically to your question, the journey typically starts around budgeting or financial reporting.
Okay, Paulo, now looking at financial software, I mean, some of the headaches and challenges that financial departments have in manufacturing, a lot of the problems that they have can be addressed by some of Prophix's features and benefits. What kind of headaches do you see on the cliff face out there in the market?
I think really anything to do with reporting, integrated reporting, that's a big subject. Anything to do with planning and budgeting cycles, it's really an area that still, it doesn't really matter how large an organization you knock on their door, they have a lot of that manual aspect in there. But you need to understand the very nature of a budgeting and planning cycle. It's very iterative, it's very collaborative. So what we're doing is we're not just providing them with a tool set for them to enter numbers. The numbers need to mean something. They need to tell the, let's call it the individual, not the business owners, but the stream owners, the operational owners, the managers at all levels, saying, this is what these numbers mean to you. This is why they were the way they were previously. And from that, you need to make your best judgment as to what you are going to enter now. So, and that obviously has all the approval cycles, and it manages the whole process for you. And that is the critical value add here on the budgeting and planning cycle. So there's the integrated reporting, there's the budget and planning cycle, and there's the scenario planning. Now, not a lot of companies actually get to the scenario planning cycle, but we believe if you combine the operational aspects of an ERP and you take the planning elements from a CPM like a Prophix, and you take them out of the Office of Finance, and as a phase 2 you begin to embed them within the operational aspects of your business, you now can do a proper cause and effect on what in fact does it make sense for me to purchase that new asset. What would be the impact across my whole business if import duties increased, or if there's forex fluctuations, or what happens if sales decrease by 10%? Can I actually afford the extra HR costs? And that whole scenario planning basically supports the decision-making processes that we see lacks in businesses today. So we believe that with the Syspro and the Prophix synergies, there's immense value add that can be offered into the market.
How do you see the relationship of Prophix and Syspro progressing moving forward into the future?
So initially, and it's how do we eat an elephant? Bite-sized chunks. I hate that terminology, but it's a reality, and we need to look at where we are currently. So if we look at the Office of Finance of customers, and we're not just saying in the Syspro ecosystem, this is true in and it's pretty widespread. There's a lot of manual work there, and quite often they are the stewards of the information. Correctly, they have ownership, but they need to present that back to the different stream owners. So the first thing we want to do is we want to optimize that. We want to transform that. And what we find is once we do that, we can take the next step, and that's moving that benefit out from the Office of Finance into the other operational sides of the business. And that ultimately, I think, is a journey that even the CPM practitioners are trying to do. And it's difficult because they need to make sure that they are congruent with an ERP system that is prepared and willing to go on that journey. But the real value is ensuring that that practice of planning, visibility, insight, making sense of all of that data is across the whole organization.
Alok, can you give us some of your insights and ideas about how the partnership with Syspro will benefit your business and ultimately the business owner?
Yeah, it's a tremendous opportunity for us in terms of this partnership. But as Paulo was referencing, one of the powers of this combined solution, Syspro and Prophix, is between the two solutions, we're actually connecting all the dots between the organization. And what that enables us to do is actually understand the implications of, decision is made on this part of the organization. Well, what is the impact on this part of the organization? And that's really powerful when you can actually get all of that information flowing and modeling and from an analytics perspective.